Mounce, BBG, chapter 29, sentence 9. Since you've already had this is another one that you've already had, and Mounce is sort of building on it as you have more and more of the pieces. Hopefully you recognize the pieces you already know, and you're just going to tie in some of these new ideas, like here, as a substantival participle, right? So hopefully you recognize this is coming from decami, right? So even though you have this passive morpheme, you're still talking about a deponent. So then when you have the os at the, the omicron sigma at the end, which lines up here with the definite article, you're going to translate it actively, and it's going to be a present deponent participle and nominative masculine singular, and of course that lines up. So the one receiving y'all, and then you got a finite verb, third singular, he receives me. So the one receiving y'all receives me, and just treat that as a single clause. And the one receiving me, and you have the very, very similar, see, the one receiving y'all, the one receiving me, you've got the same substantival, same substantival participle. He's just changing the object. Okay, so the one receiving y'all receives me, and the one receiving me receives, and here you have another substantival participle, but here it's accusative, and of course you got your back door to tell you it's accusative singular, but hopefully you can recognize that here, and recognize that it declines as a third declension, which would be alpha in the accusative singular. So in this case, an aorist active from apostello, and hopefully what tells you that is it's not a present stem with the insertion of the oda and the omission of the second lambda. All right, tells you you're dealing with an aorist stem, tells you that it's aorist active and it's nominative singular based on those particular pieces of the puzzle. All right, we talked about the idea of sent before. You could translate this as the one sending, but the problem there is that the sending took place before he's doing the talking here. So probably the best in this particular is to go ahead and turn it into a relative clause, the one who sent me, and make sure that that's prior to the reception and all that kind of stuff. So we'll do the second sentence here and then come back and put it all together. And you notice this, the one receiving, all the way through. You've got the same, masculine singular nominative substantival participle that runs through the whole, whole set of sentences here. The one receiving a profit, a reward of a prophet, and then lampsatai. Hopefully you recognize that as from lambano, but here you have the future form of it, and you could probably see that built into the psi, that sigma, the sigma that's built in there, and then a third singular, he will receive, right? So who will receive? The one receiving, right? So the one receiving a prophet will receive, and in our case we would say the reward of a prophet, or a prophet's reward, if you wanted to do it that way, and that would be fine, a prophet's reward. And the one receiving, and here you have a substantival adjective, right? The one receiving a righteous man, okay, in the name of a righteous man, right, will receive a righteous man's reward, or in this case you could say something like a just reward or something like that. If you got some ways you can play with that, but just to keep these ideas consistent, I think it'd be best to go with something like, and we'll start at the beginning again, the one receiving y'all receives me, and the one receiving me receives the one who sent me. The one receiving a prophet will receive a prophet's reward, and the one receiving a righteous man in the name of a righteous man will receive a righteous man's reward.